program.
So Dave, can we be really quick on this one? So obviously, we all received an email in the mail from Next Link. And this is one of Dave's competitors, I'm assuming, but just to kind of get an idea of there's more people out there looking at it, but Dave, go ahead.
Sure. So provide an update from our last time we met. I have spent time with the Texas Broadband Development Office to further understand the TAP program. To make it real short and sweet is my recommendation that we proceed forward. I don't expect to get any silver bullets out of this program, but I do expect if I get some nuggets out of it. Commissioner Leisman and I did discuss it in depth. The time required is about 5 hours over the next 5 months for this commission or this group to meet with the Texas Assistance Program and come up with their findings.
So, but part of your committee requires an elected official on the committee.
The Texas Broadband Development Office requires an elected official to sit on the committee. That is correct, and there is no minimal require or size after that. So just that's the one individual. I'm sure there'll be more.
So with discussions yesterday with David, we talked about we're really going to be getting pretty much a cookie cutter report that's going to be uniform to Blanco County. A lot of this will be kind of, what does the commissioners want to see for future progression throughout the county? So that's kind of where we stand.
Yes.
Motions?
Let me see here. I'll make a motion to approve Blanco County selection to the Technical Assistance TAP program by the Broadband Development Office, the BDO.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Leisman, discussion.
The reason I second it is because we went out for a grant for this and we got awarded the grant. So if we was to back out of it, they say there's no harm, no foul. However, and you can create your own opinion on it.
Mr. Leeson, are you the elected official that's going to sit on that?
I was hoping that it would not be me and it would be somebody else, one of y'all.
Sounds to me like you know more about it.
It requires an elected official on the board, because I don't remember us doing that last time.
That was information that the BDO presented to me on my conference call with them a couple of weeks ago, that it does require an elected official to be on the committee.
When you say when they say elected official, do they mean this table or do they mean anybody that's an elected official in Blanco County?
A second.
Because I believe Constable Busey has been on the periphery involved in this kind of stuff.
As long as there's an elected official.
I don't know if we make that part of the
I
motion.
was asking a question. I wasn't, as part of the motion to put him on that board.
Your motion's clean, just you want to be part of the program.
I just, if it's Constable Busey, that's correct.
That is part of your motion.
Yes.
That'll be part of my segment. He's not in the room. See what happens?
Further discussion.
He's stating he'll do it.
Okay.
Further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 13.
Thank you, David.
Yes, sir.
By the way, I'm sorry, I just have to ask, because Commissioner Leisman mentioned that this other entity was your competitor. I don't think I've ever seen them in Blanco County. Are they really a competitor, or?
They do have a presence in Blanco County.
They do.
Yes.
Item 13, continue, dissolve, the IT committee.
Yep, so I
Item
make
12,
a,
I'm sorry, I'm 12.
item 12. So I make a motion to dissolve the IT committee until it gets needed again.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Riley, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 13, one of you needs to acknowledge continuing education for Commissioner Leisman.
I'll make a motion to acknowledge continuing education of Commissioner Leisman.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Riley, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, motion carries. Item 16, and then 17 also, will be items where the district judges have issued orders concerning compensation. The first one, 16, for court reporters, and it's requests your acknowledgement of such.
I'll make a motion to acknowledge administrative order setting the compensation and expense for court reporters of FY 25-26.
Is there a second? Commissioner Weir, discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item 17, same kind of thing for the auditor.
I make a motion to acknowledge the administrative order setting the compensation and expenses for Blanco County Auditor and Assistants for FY 25-26.
Is there a second? Commissioner Eager, discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item 14, ongoing discussions regarding the budget. If I may, I'd like to ask a couple of things up front. One of them has to do with this year's budget, but drifts over into next year's budget. And I think I need the sheriff, maybe his helper. You have a second? Can you come up? The sheriff. I'm not talking loud enough. I would love to have your voice, by the way. Like, projects really well. I was looking at the revenue collected this year in this budget.
Yes.
And I'm curious why the SRO fees are lower than what we budgeted. That's a payment that comes from an ISD to, I think it's, in this case, it's Blanco ISD.
Well, they have been, it's not finished yet.
Yeah, right, till the 30th of September.
Right.
But it looks like it was several $1,000s behind. So you still think we're gonna
Mhm.
meet budget?
Yes.
Okay. And the next thing is, your chief came to our office about 8:20 something this morning. It was the first I'd heard of it, but I also got an email this morning about the same time that, the Marble Falls Dispatch Center wants to charge us $31,000 a month
31,000 a month, yes, sir.
and prorate September by like 9,000 and some change.
Yes.
And I think his question was going to be to me, but I feel like it's a question for all, is what are we gonna do about that? And because, I mean, theoretically, that's $372,000 if we had to use them the whole year.
Right.
So a couple of sub questions. You've been gradually accumulating dispatchers with all of the changes we've been making, right?
We've hired one.
Just one.
We have several applications out. We've done background. We got 3 backgrounds going on right now, I think.
And remind me again, there's a lieutenant, a sergeant,
There's
and
not a lieutenant.
I know, but there should be.
Yes.
There's a spot for a lieutenant, a sergeant, and 9
And
dispatchers,
another sergeant. Yes.
2 sergeants,
Mhm.
shift, one for each
Right.
shift, and not 9 dispatchers.
Yes.
And you have one.
Well, I have one working full-time, Joanna, the sergeant.
And you have some fill-ins from people that are just filling.
No, everybody volunteers, saying they're gonna come help, and they have not helped.
All right. Well,
But I do have one in training. She'll be done pretty quick. She's doing really good. Morgan has been taken over as a dispatcher, but she's getting ready to be on leave.
right. So I would think that, and I don't know where the break point comes where it doesn't work, but I would think that until you get some people on staff, I thought you had 3 or 4 by now.
No,
But if you get some until you get some dispatchers on staff, you're gonna have every month that much lapsed salary
yes,
and a dispatcher, that's probably $3,000 or $4,000 a month per dispatcher.
yes,
Divided into 31,000, take about 7 or 8 dispatchers to
Yeah,
pay Marble Falls.
well, 4 hired working full-time will take away,
The need for Marble Falls?
no, the half, yeah, I wish, the half, or half of it. It would cover the days. It would cover every day.
So it wouldn't be 31,000 anymore. Where I'm trying to go with this, and you have help there to your left. That's your right, that's your left. But you can have help everywhere.
Yeah, I got help everywhere.
What I'm going with this is, as opposed to us trying to figure out another budget item to cover that is, taking from things that you don't wind up spending in your existing budget
Mhm.
and covering that hole.
If we could do that, because it's payroll.
Well, I don't, we have this argument every single time. The Attorney General's office, the General Counsel for the Judges and Commissioners Association, everybody that has that I've read that has a law degree says that payroll is no different than any other line item as far as commissioners' courts are concerned, that they can move them around. Obviously, you can't kill somebody's job while they're in it, but if they're not there, that money's available to the court.
I don't know that. And
I know, and I have to fight with
Yeah.
my own people every single time about this. But that still brings,
there is other monies that will be returning. I don't know how much.
What do you mean there's other money you'll be returning?
There's other money, line items and stuff that are completely used up.
To end up this budget cycle?
but we're really talking about October 1st going forward.
Right.
No,
Well, while you chew on that one a minute, nobody ever answered me on my question last week or week before about what's left over in SB 22, which is 40 or 50,000.
well, it's not, because we have POs we're waiting for invoices. It's not near
So you bought some stuff,
that.
which we did take out of the 25-26 budget.
Yes.
Okay, all right,
Just waiting for the invoices on that.
good to know. On the salary side of it, there's a stack this high of, versions every other day. But, am I correct that what is before the court today is pretty much acceptable?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And so I still need to fill out the application for the Senate Bill 22 money for 25-26. And I wrote, and nobody's really said otherwise, we're gonna report that we're gonna buy 2 Tahoes and outfit them with Senate Bill 22 money. And that's gonna leave about 140,000 for either salaries, and I asked and nobody's answered me, but
Yeah, there'll be, it will be used for some salary and equipment.
well, that's what I was asking because I need to, I wanted
See, I
to,
didn't think you had to report that. I think you just, we have to report it as it's spent.
well, in their instructions, they ask you to give kind of categories.
Oh, well, equipment and salary. Yeah.
I know, but I don't
Are
have
they asking for percentage?
a division, and I would like to have a division, but I don't know that it necessarily prevents us from moving around, but the instructions do say something about categories.
Yeah, there's only certain categories that can be spent.
Correct, and they'd like to know what we're planning on doing. And I just didn't know if we had something else if out of that 140,000, we were talking about a significant chunk going to something, or if we're gonna use it on salaries.
I think if this goes through, we're gonna reduce some stuff on the equipment that we're requesting. That if it applies to that deal. That are in next year's budget.
Okay, and here's what confuses me about that. The discussions that we've had so far are we trade off, we do what we can for you on salaries.
Mhm.
We trade off by using Senate Bill 22 money to buy some stuff,
Mhm.
so we don't have to budget it in
Right.
25, 26.
Right,
Well, we're down to the end. She's gonna cut off POs in like a couple days.
right.
So how
It
do
wouldn't
I,
be on us. We'd just take it off this budget next year.
but how do I know what that's gonna be? How do they know what that's gonna be when they adopt the budget today?
Well, it'll be equipment that the county does not have to buy, or salaries that the county does not
But we
have to
could take
pay.
it out now. If
Do
we-
what?
We could take it out now if we knew what it was gonna be and how much. If you knew that you were gonna buy a widget with Senate Bill 22 money and it's worth $10,000 and we have it on the budget, we could take $10,000 out of the budget right now and take the widget off. But I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know. what-
And I can tell you, I don't know the exact dollar amount. There's be about 140,000 left over to go towards salary and equipment.
Okay, you just want me to say it that way,
Yes.
salary and equipment.
Yes.
All right. Any objections? No.
After the two dollars.
Okay, after the two times.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna open the floor because that's all I can think of.
So on the dispatch location, dispatch, how long, if you hire, let's say you turn around tomorrow and hire 3 people,
Yep.
how long do they take?
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah,
Even if they've already been.
no,
If I can finish my sentence, even if they've already had the training.
no, they're already licensed dispatchers. It will still teach them, it'll take a while to do the CAD and get the jail certificate. And they have to have that within a year. But they'll already have their telecommunications.
But I guess, so if I was to say, let's take 4 salaries out of the salary part of it and move it down below and just put contracting for the dispatch. You know, that's the number I'm looking for, you know, is it 4 salaries, is it 5 salaries, what is that? You know, and I know it's all based on when you hire somebody, and I guess would we have to do a budget amendment throughout the year to move, you know, if it went one way or the other? Would we have to do a budget amendment to take more money out of the salaries and put it down? Or vice versa? If they somehow get automatically staffed, we can take that money and put it back into the salaries.
That's right.
That's the way it works.
Yeah. So do you have a recommendation on how many salaries to take out of the salary part of it and move to contracting for dispatch?
As of right now,
Let's say it's 31,000 a month. So that's half of a dispatch salary.
I mean, right, I hate to remove a lieutenant, which is 72 or 70.
Well, I hate that we don't have dispatch either.
Right,
You know.
and that's what I'm saying. The lieutenant dispatcher it's open and it pays 72,969.
I think you're better off, creating the line item and running red. And just, people have to figure out that, it's red on that line because it's, way black on the salary lines because we don't have dispatchers. If you wanna ultimately true it up later, you can do that. But for the time being, that way we don't wind up in the argument of, well, you can't hire 9 dispatchers because you don't have but 6 funded.
Right, right.
Does the auditor's office have a problem with creating a new line item and running it in the red? As long as their bottom dollar doesn't go over?
Only then, I think operations are separate from salaries. And I don't think you can use salaries to offset operations.
So, but if we run, let's just say we put a line item in the operations budget and we run it in the red, and as long as they're bottom dollar, we're still in the black. Once we get to a point that we might, maybe 6 months, and if you haven't figured out how to hire people, then we say, we're gonna do a budget amendment to take the money out of the salaries and move it down into there. Do you have a problem with that?
I
Bill?
don't have a problem.
Y'all good with that?
Does it go into contract labor? Is that what you're saying?
It's
Is
contract.
contract labor part of salaries? No, it's part of your operations, is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
So that's been the argument all along. Is that right? Or the disagreement, excuse me.
I don't think there's an argument, but
Okay, yeah, that you can't take unused salaries.
Well, there's a definite argument.
Contract it out, because
There's a definite
I remember
argument.
that discussion before.
Right.
Yeah.
I completely disagree with that.
Yeah, I got you. So if you're at a point where you don't have the manpower, but you've got the money to contract somebody to do that job, we're not allowed to do that.
you can do a budget amendment.
Okay,
Put your budget amendment.
I got you. I understand.
So I make a motion to create a new line item and leave it at a $0 amount. We'll run it in the red, and throughout the year, we'll do a budget amendment to move money into that. If that's however it works out. we'll
From
move money-
unused salary.
Right, out of it, unused salary, we'll move it into that line item.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Weir seconds, discussion. I think I want to just, I'm not really opposed to this, but I want to be clear, because you said that 31,000 a month is less than a dispatcher's salary, but you're comparing a monthly figure to an annual figure.
Right.
And that won't work.
Yeah.
So,
I am saying that this is way cheaper than the contract dispatchers that y'all
yeah, that was
already
like
voted.
48 or 50, wasn't it? A
It
month,
was 120,000 startup, and then, yeah,
and then 48 or 50.
yes.
I
But
think.
this is still a temporary fix.
This is temporary. I want this to be as
Otherwise, we're
temporary
gonna
as
be back there
possible.
dispatching, right?
Yes,
Okay, good. Y'all heard that?
you don't want me to. Yes.
Nobody does, so I need some people to hire.
Yesterday, a lady from LCRA was visiting with me, and she and her family broke down in some little townhouse away from Brownwood. I guess a different county, because they called the sheriff's office because they couldn't figure out how to get a ride anywhere. And asked, and the person in dispatch who answered the phone said, "I'm sorry, honey, I am the sheriff, but I'm also dispatching. I'm the only one here today. I'm dispatching."
See, there you go.
What county?
I don't know.
I'm assuming it was just west of Brownwood, Brown County.
I was gonna say, it wasn't Brown County Sheriff, I know him.
Whatever the town is, it's the friendliest little town in Texas, she says. Anyway, other discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. There's a subject on the budget. Next,
Kathy, do you have some?
Yes, thanks, Earl.
Okay, what do you got?
First one was on page 5. There's a typo. Should say 23-24 budget. It says 24-25 twice. Okay. There were a couple of those. Yes, page 9. Typo on the column budget. The dictation of 23-24. Bill column should say 24-25. Page 11. Same thing. Page 13. And the last column would say 25-26. Got that. Page 16. Last column should say 25, 26. Got that one. Page 21. Middle column should say 24, 25. Okay. Page 23. Middle column should say 24, 25. 26. Middle column should say 24, 25. Got it. Page 42. Oh, at the bottom of the page. It should say 25, 26. Then on page 66. All the other dates in those special funds, say, as of April 25, it says April 24. And then the last one I have is on the agenda, if you're voting on the salary for tax assessor collector. So it's 70,974, but in the budget, it says 78,974.
I changed the back page, did not change that page, but it has been fixed since then.
Okay.
What page was that, tax assessor?
16.
Connie, you're saying that, on page 16, that should be 70,974?
Um, The sheet that I do, the changes, the second sheet,
Okay.
those are things that I have fixed since I printed that on Friday. I got it.
I don't have to look through that. Can you tell me, I have one. So on page 50, on Old Marble Falls Road crossing, we add engineering to that because it's just the engineering, it's not the crossing.
What I have done on all of the projects may include, but not limited to.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to clarify that I don't want people thinking I'm rebuilding the crossing when I'm not rebuilding the crossing. I'm just to get the engineering done.
I will add in the word engineering.
And then on page 53, you change it, move to page 40, but you left the other ones at 39, and then you change other stuff, so now it's 41. So
No, there's one page,
that's marked
6
double.
or 7 that made 2 pages.
Okay.
It will all
Okay.
work out
Okay.
when that is.
Okay.
goes back.
All right.
Who else?
Oh, I do, I'm sorry, I do have some, question in reference that just kind of brought to light a little bit more for me now here recently. So on page 50, let's just say that I hire somebody that has 25 years' experience. What would that salary be? Like if I hire somebody that has 25 years, that's retired from TechStop, that knows how to run every piece of equipment. How does that work?
The way I believe it worked, first of all, it's all discretionary in my opinion. And second of all, the process that has been discussed from the day one when the chief brought it up for the law enforcement center. And we, I want to say adopted, and I don't mean that in a formal sense. I mean, as the discussions went, it seemed to start applying to everything else. We decided that their formula was what we would use, which is the minimum, you take the minimum and the median and you divide by 5. And for each year of experience someone has, you add that 1/5 to their salary, starting salary. You only go to 5. I would have been a little more conservative. Frankly, I would have done 10 and I divided by 10, I think, and maybe so that somebody, because the sheriff hired somebody the other day that had like 20 or 22 years of experience. I think that person has a lot more experience than somebody with 5. And so I probably would have done it differently if I had done it in the first place, but at least they did something, and at least they started a process, and that seems to be our process. And so, my answer, my opinion of the answer to your question is, you hire somebody with 20+ years experience from TxDOT that knows how to do everything. They get the full credit for the five increments from minimum to median, so they'd start at the median.
Okay, and then we would just do a budget amendment to change that, because that would be like if I was to hire somebody, let's just say in the very beginning of October, we just do a budget amendment and make that work.
Yes and no. You can't just add to the budget without it being an emergency, but we can find some place to take it from and put it in there, and it probably will be someplace. Or the alternative is that we don't have a budget as we sit here right now. So if you want to add, if you're thinking about that and you think you want to add more money into that line item, now's the time.
Doesn't mean you have to start with that.
Right. I understand.
But on the other hand, it saves time, it saves fighting and time and trouble with adjusting if you have more in there than you need.
What's your recommendation?
I'd probably do it if you're that, you seem to have a eye.
Yeah.
I'd probably go ahead and put the median salary in the slot you're thinking about.
Okay. Can you put the median salary in that slot then, please? And then the last question I have, in the event of a new elected official, what would be their salary? Elected commissioner?
Elected commissioner,
Yes.
page 108. County commissioner is it's an item 24 on the top scale, and the top scale, in the top scale, item 24, minimum salary is will be, after you adopt this budget, 87,144.
So that newly elected commissioner would be making more than the rest of us. We don't have to worry about it until technically it'll be on the next budget. However, I just wanted to point that out.
Right, and I guess the only way around that is, well, no, that's not true. There's one way around that is to fix the schedule, and you're right, that there's time to do that. And another way around that is, even if the schedule was like that and it came up and it was snuck up on you, there's nothing in my mind to say that the court couldn't take notice of what current experienced county commissioners make and say that the salary for the new person won't be the minimum yet. I mean, this salary schedule is in some ways aspirational. So, for example, I think Judge Riley floated the idea last meeting or meeting before about the county judge starting salary, which is 69,404. And I think he said something about 93. And frankly, if it's me walking through the door January 1st, 2027, if it's one of the handful of people who have stated they want to file for the job, if it's a famous judge out of the landing, 93, I don't think that's the correct starting point. I think 69,404 is more appropriate. So I would not have voted for the change had it gone through. So I remember I don't think it got a second. But you have opened the door for me to float an idea. And Ms. Early's not in the room, so we had a debate about this. And I think she makes really good points, but I'm still stuck on it. I didn't sit at my desk and connive and try to come up with this. I actually woke up one morning after last Tuesday's meeting thinking about it. And I have made the comment a couple of times that I think the salary study was flawed. I probably need to clarify, because I don't want anybody walking away thinking that the salary study was a waste of time. It wasn't. It did some good things for some of the working folks at Blanco County. A couple mistakes were made. I think the dispatch disparity with jailers was huge, and look at the fix we got ourselves in. Not to say that pay is the only issue there, maybe. But one of the other things that I think I wish I had not voted for, or that we had done differently, is they separated out elected officials. Said this elected officials work this and that elected officials work that. And prior to that, for the last, I don't know how long, I assume probably all of Blanco County's history, elected officials were put together. And I woke up that morning with the notion that whether you're processing X thousand number of car titles, whether you're issuing paychecks, whether you're authorizing autopsies or pronouncing dead people, they're not comparable jobs for a salary study purpose. They're specific, and their jobs are contained within the Texas Constitution and the various codes, local government code and government code. So I wish we had not untangled them. I wish they had all been the same. It cannot be fixed today, really. I've verified this too, because what's published is what's published, and that's where we are. But on this schedule that you brought up and we were referencing, I would like to propose next year, and I'm just sort of laying the groundwork for you all to say that's a terrible idea or not. I would like to propose that all of the elected officials get put back in parity. They will not stay in parity. Somebody will get elected for 4 years and they'll be gone, while another person will stay for 50 years. And longevity and other things will make that person make more than a new person coming in. I get that. But I do think that the minimum salary for each elected official ought to be the same. And I don't think we should go down. I think we should, I think people, and I'll just call it out, I think people like, and what I do with my glasses to the left. Thank you. I think people like the tax assessor collector. That wasn't really what I was thinking of, but that's one. Well, in this current budget, that changes. So, but as far as starting salaries, I think that should move up. I think the constables should move up. I think they should be made equal. And that's what I would suggest that we look toward trying to do next year, is getting away from that item of the salary study that separates, divides, and causes disharmony. There's nothing really, you can comment on it, there's nothing really to do about that today. Just wanted you to know that was in my head.
Say something real quick.
Please.
You messed up.
I messed up?
Yes.
I
You
always
called me Judge Riley. And with everything that's being said, I know that was probably from years of talking to my father, but I am not the judge. I have aspirations to be the judge.
Are you sure I said Judge Riley?
I'm positive, because I got a text right off the bat from somebody watching YouTube, Judge, question mark. And Chris even looked at me.
You're prepping.
So.
I'm sorry. Okay. You're right, and I have, in my defense, I've had years and years of saying Judge Riley, that's before you ever came along.
Yes.
Okay, so we're still on the budget, other items.
Did y'all need to vote on the increasing the median salary for his position or no? For the vacant position?
It won't hurt, but I don't know that we have to, if it's understood among us that you're gonna make that change.
Yes.
And that will be part of the overall vote to adopt the budget,
Okay.
that he'll get the median salary in that worker's line.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that doesn't statutorily, that doesn't expressly require it separately.
No, it is not.
So, something else that came out of the public hearing. I realize that we are ever so slightly over the no new revenue rate, and I realize that our Republican state rep made a big point last night about the no new revenue rate, but we are very, I reviewed it this morning, and the no new revenue rate is 37.00, maybe 0.95 or 0.095, but, and ours is ever so slightly more than that, but way under the voter approval rate and very near the no new revenue rate. It was intended to be the no new revenue rate, but calculations get rounded. So I still, despite the comments, I still feel like the tax rate is what it is. And I've already admitted that it raises more money, and it's raised more money than last year. And I think Blanco County is not like, you all go to county commissioners meetings, and I feel certain that the same thing happens to you, that happens to me. You'll be discussing it with various county judges from around the state, and it turns out that Blanco County is not like some other places. There's places where valuation of property goes way down in a given year, and that leaves a commissioner's court really grappling with how do we pay for stuff when our valuation has gone that much lower without raising taxes, and if we raise taxes, then we're bad people. That's not Blanco County. We continue to grow, but that's the other side of the coin. If you continue to grow, your base and your overall county population and infrastructure, you got to pay for it. You got to pay for maintaining it. You got to pay for servicing people. So it's a struggle. I get it, and I've gone through this before, so I don't know how to avoid it. And as to the thought about setting our own salaries, that's kind of the system that a county government is a state subsidiary of state government. We are a piece of them, and what they dictate is how, in various codes and constitutions, and otherwise, is how we operate. And so that's the way they have set it up. And unless they set it up differently, I don't know how you would otherwise do it. I mean, I guess you could just not vote yourself to be part of the increasing budget ever. And I wonder what you would get in terms of commissioners wanting to be a county commissioner if you were making 20, 25.
I know west with a revenue that's very low, those, I thought commissioners out there in the far west, and they don't draw near what other commissioners draw because they don't have the revenue.
One year, and then another year they strike spindle time.
Yeah.
Okay. I just don't want to, I'm sure you all want to get going. I just don't want to rush you if you have more budget thoughts. What am I missing?
I do need one that I did not have a chance to get with you on. Evidently, there is a potential that we might need to move our email from .com to .gov. I believe Rosemary had a discussion with Chris Nagel, and something in the elections might be requiring a .gov email address. Rosemary, please chime in if I'm wrong.
It's just a recommendation to eventually get it to a .gov.
Okay.
Because of security, but that's just a recommendation.
Where are we .com?
I'm sorry,
Oh,
hang on.
But
Because we're not.
We're not, no, no, is it it's the website. I'm sorry, website.
Not the website, the email.
Our email is not .com.
No, but it would change to, blanco.gov.
Our email is, I don't know, somebody have blanco.gov?
No.
I don't.
No, that's
Yeah.
the recommendation.
Yeah, well, I'll come back with further information on that one.
Okay.
Never mind.
Anyone else? So the money that we are proposing in the hot tax for the cupola,
Yes, sir.
that's not a given, right?
Correct.
We don't know for sure how much we're gonna need in any given point.
Correct.
In fact, the current timeline for the completion of construction is October the 19th, which would be in the next fiscal year.
Right.
So but we left room, did we not, by putting other lines in that hot tax, that if there's money left that we can support the tourism community, we will, or could? Okay. Well, I think unless you all have something else, I think we're to the point of needing to vote on some things, like the budget.
It's further down our agenda.
My mistake. Item 19, salaries for elected officials.
I make a motion to set the salaries for the elected officials for FY 25-26 as presented.
Is there a second?
No, second.
Commissioner Eaker, record vote.
Judge Gray,
Aye.
Commissioner Weir, Commissioner Eager,
Aye.
Commissioner Leesman,
Aye.
and Commissioner Riley.
Aye.
Item 20, base salaries for employees for the school year 2025-26, and I want to make sure and point out the 109A. My understanding on the 109A is that basically that's commercial license. No,
That's a deputy.
That's deputy.
deputy. 109A is deputy. I'm sorry. 107 is commercial license and 106 is without. Is that right?
One of the number, yes.
All right.
I make a motion to approve setting the base salaries for employees for FY 25-26 as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Riley, discussion. Why does this not have a record?
It does.
I'm sorry. There it is.
Judge Gray,
Aye.
Commissioner Weir, Commissioner Eager,
Aye.
Commissioner Leesman,
Aye.
Commissioner Riley.
And now, item 21 is the budget.
I move to adopt the Blanco County budget for fiscal year 2025-26 as presented. This also includes all previous modifications voted on earlier this morning.
Is there a second? Commissioner Weir? No, Commissioner Eager, sorry. Discussion. Nothing else. Ms. Waller?
Judge Gray,
Aye.
Commissioner Weir, Commissioner Eager,
Aye.
Commissioner Leesman,
Aye.
Commissioner Riley.
And then item 22 is to adopt the tax rate. If I'm not mistaken, these record votes are separated. We do 2 record votes. So,
So I move to set the maintenance and operation tax at 0.347732 cents per $100 valuation.
is there a second? Commissioner Weir, discussion. Ms. Waller?
Judge Ray,
Aye.
Commissioner Weir,
Aye.
Commissioner Eager, Commissioner Eastman,
Aye.
Commissioner Riley.
Aye.
And then subpart B.
I move to set the debt services INS rate at 0.02750 per $100 valuation.
Is there a second? Commissioner Eager, discussion. I would just like to point out that the change in those two numbers, the overall tax rate is not unlike the past years, but because of some auditing requirements or some accounting requirements, the change is more in M&O and less in debt service this year. Anything else? Ms. Waller?
Judge Ray,
Aye.
Commissioner Weir, Commissioner Eager, Commissioner Eastman,
Aye.
Commissioner Riley.
Aye.
And then item 22, there needs to be an express ratification of tax increase.
I make a motion ratifying the tax increase, 1,143,582 for the year 25-26.
Include the rest of it on their other sheet.
On this sheet here, Tom.
You want to repeat it, but go ahead, but to say it in the right words under the statutory language.
All right.
The middle one.
I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of 0.375232 cents per $100, which is an overall increase of 0.005232 and will raise more tax revenue as published online and in the newspaper.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Riley's discussion. Ms. Waller?
Judge Ray,
Aye.
Commissioner Weir,
Aye.
Commissioner Eager,
Aye.
Commissioner Eastman,
Aye.
Commissioner Riley.
Aye.
Item 24 on your agenda is to approve the Meals on Wheels payment for this year, next year. I'm sorry.
I move to approve the resolution authorizing the county grant of $6,000 to Meals on Wheels program for Blanco County for fiscal year 2025-26.
Is there a second?
I second.
Commissioner Eager, discussion. The reason we do this one but not the others is because they require some sort of resolution. Is that the deal?
Yes, sir,
And the others do not.
correct.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, motion carries. 25,
I'll make a motion to authorize the county judge to sign the updated plan maintenance and annual service agreement between Lofton in Blanco County for FY 25-26.
is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Riley, discussion. Melinda in the room,
Yes.
anything?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? All in favor, say aye. And opposed, motion carries. 26,
Move for the authorization of county judge to sign the updated plan services agreement between Johnson Controls and Blanco County for fiscal year 2025-26.
is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Eager, discussion. Melinda?
Good.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 27,
Make a motion to authorize the county judge to sign the annual service agreement between wastewater transportation services and Blanco County for the fiscal year 2025-26.
is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Riley, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Do you want to change or keep the second Tuesday of the month for the regular term? I'm sorry, the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month for regular terms of the, now the problem with that is that you run into is Christmas, and possibly Thanksgiving. If the fourth Tuesday is a regular term versus a special.
Right.
But the other problem is the backside of that is Kim and we had the issue one year because the fourth Tuesday was not a regular
Mhm.
term. And that word is, regular term is used in the tax code, I think. So I guess it's better to call them both regular and undo two of them than it is not call them regular.
Yes, sir, and we changed that for this fiscal year, because we are running into that in November, because Veterans Day is on the second Tuesday, and we are closed. It's a holiday. So we're gonna actually run into that this year.
All right.
I make a motion to keep our Commissioners Court convening on the second and the fourth Tuesday of the month.
Is there a second?
I'll say.
Commissioner Weir, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. And then 29, the GovCap financing agreement.
Make a motion to authorize the county judge to sign a resolution regarding a financing agreement with Capital Government Capital, including all loan documents for the funding to commence.
Is there a second? Commissioner Eager, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Jumping back up to I-9. I think just immediately go into executive session to discuss this unless you have something you want to say in the open meeting. Yeah. So with that, I'm going to recess the regular meeting of the Commissioners Court at 10:30 a.m. and retreat into executive session under 551071 and 551074 of the Texas Government Code, those exceptions applying to attorney-client privilege and personnel matters. We're recessed.
Judge Armstrong.
The Commissioners Court has completed its executive session on this 9th day of September at 11:23 a.m. and has returned to open meeting. No action was taken on any item while in executive session. And we are now back on the regular session agenda, specifically item 9. So you have a memo that's been proposed, is a proposal to place in the Emma's Wallace County records. And that would be the motion requested. So,
I'll make a motion to take no action to choose between the two conflicting plats and to advise the affected landowners in writing that the county cannot resolve the matter, that the private legal remedies must be pursued between the two of them. And also vote, we also want to request that the county attorney post this memo on the dueling plats to provide notice to the public, affected landowners, and potential buyers.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Weir,
I'm sorry, county clerk, not county attorney.
with that correction, Commissioner Weir seconds. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. I don't see anything else on the agenda that's been left on, Ms. Harrison. Wait, yeah.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Riley, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Chris, do you have that motion written down that you just made?
Oh, I just made it up out of air.
Come on, Chris.